Hello, welcome to Talks from the Abyss, number 3. This is your host, Abyssm. And today we're going to talk about early days of the music forums. Now, I didn't come into the scene until 2003, but let's face it, that's going to be early days for most of you anyway. Um, what happens? You guys have all been there, right? You make a song, you want someone to listen to it. What do? You start searching for some place to put your music and get some feedback. The thing is, ideally, that feedback you would want to be from people that were music appreciators, music enjoyers. But really, what you're left with is a bunch of other people that are making music and they're there for the same thing you are. They want someone to listen to their stuff. Perfectly natural, perfectly acceptable. However, it wasn't long. I'm sorry, I don't always have a great name for remembrance of names, but a lot of times they'll come to me after I turn off the recording. But we'll get through this. So looking around, there was one site that was already pay for listens, even back in 2003. Can't remember the name of it. Lots of people there. But I was on KVR. Now, KVR is a music forum and a site that sells, they actually sell things now. They didn't back then, but VSTs, it was all about VSTs, and I was quite interested in VSTs. And I was participating on the forum, sharing music. I believe you still can do all that there. And one of the things that grew out of KVR was a guy that says, "Hey, I've got a server and I'm making free websites available to everyone." I wish I could remember his name. I should do, but I don't. Anyway, another thing he was going to do. So I said, "Yeah, sign me up for a website." And I built a website, and that was my first theory of one site. And we'll talk more about that later. The other thing he did was decided to roll out a music forum. It was called the Auditorium. And I was, as I mentioned in our previous broadcast, I was the very first member of that forum and also was made a moderator. And my personal philosophy was I understood why people were there. You were there for someone to listen to your music. So I took it upon myself to make sure if no one else was giving anyone any feedback on their song, that they would get at least one, and that would be from me. And later on, as we brought in other moderators, that was the policy that I encouraged them, at least one reply from somebody. And for this reason, the auditorium started to grow. We went from me being the first member up to I believe it got up around 1,500 members or so over the course of a year. Unfortunately, the dude that started it, he started getting kind of weird. Um, there was I brought in several other moderators from KVR and people that had commented on my music and stuff there that I thought were talented. And of course, there was also an influx of people coming in from over there. And the great thing about the early days of the internet is that you could get organic reach. You could get attention for your new music forum or your music a lot easier than these days. It's all been commodified now, and I'm not going to complain about that. That's just the way it is. But I brought in other moderators, and we had a big group meeting, and I was commenting on some of my ideas about things, and I was just called naive, and I didn't appreciate it because I'm not naive. I just, believe good things about people, I guess. Anyway, it wasn't long after that the auditorium went south. It was too bad too, because had he kept it going, it would probably be a huge music forum today. And from there, of course, there several other forums split off, some of which I participated in with some success. And it wasn't long, probably around 2006 or so, where my long-term relationship I'd been in for about 20 years at that point just broke up, and I basically took a break from music. One of several I've taken over the years, and there I had a good reason. I wanted to concentrate on dating and making it with the opposite sex. It's something I'd never really kind of got a grip on, and so I took a big break from music to do that for a long time, and consequently, maybe you've noticed the thing with the music forums is that it's definitely a like for like infrastructure. That's okay. I'm not complaining. What it is musicians, they're looking for people to pay attention to their music. But yeah, I've never really liked that too much, although I have built relationships over the years, and we'll talk about BandLab at some point, probably a little further down the road because we're kind of in the early days right now. But BandLab I got back into around 2018, and it was really pretty cool. Still like for like, but not paying for likes. None of that. There was none of that. And the only thing worse than like for like culture is paying for likes, and I just don't like it. I don't think. I don't really see what the point is either with getting a bunch of musicians to pay attention to your music is not really what you're after. They're all there for one thing, and that's to get someone to listen to their music. How do you get to the regular audience? People do find a way. I don't really know what it is. This is one of my attempts at it, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. I have had my first comment on my second video, and it's a wonderful comment. It'll stay with me probably forever. It's such a wonderful comment. Totally makes it worth it. Even if I don't end up adding many subscribers, getting some positive feedback is always really awesome. Anyway, that is sort of the story of the auditorium in a nutshell. Now, I'm an artist by trade, and I had done a neat little logo for the auditorium. It was a great idea, and it actually had other sections that you could collaborate in. It was way ahead of its time, and it's just too bad that it folded up. But that's the way of things. I don't know if you've noticed this, but everything's always changing and in flux. And at the end of the day, I still love music. I still want to make music. If I can get any kind of response to anything I do, I'm grateful. Um, I do think the music that I make is world class, and I'm a big time music fan, so I ought to know. I guess we'll leave it there for this video. The song that's coming up is called 1000 Dreams. Now, this is the title track of my last published record, which you can find on Bandcamp. There'll be a link below the video to that, and very proud of this song, very proud of that album. I have completed a new album, and I will be putting that up on Bandcamp soon and doing some mild promotion on it, such as it is. you know, but I know you'll enjoy this song. And this song, basically, everything keyed off this initial organ riff, which is just some sort of arpeggio that I'd found. I'm going to be talking about the tools that I use to make my music quite extensively as we progress along. So far, I'm tracking out a video a day. I can't guarantee that I'll keep that up, but I've tried to streamline this process so that it's a minimum of effort. All I really have to do is talk and reminisce with you and pick a song and present it. So I hope you enjoy 1000 Dreams. I think it's a really beautiful song. And if you do, tip on over to Bandcamp, check out the record. I think you can buy the song for like 20 cents, something like that. Or you can buy the whole record for $7, whatever. I appreciate you. And we'll be back real soon with another video. Until then, stay out of trouble.
First light, now years away. Yesterday fades, our future's coming, but we're still running. 1,000 dreams lead us to nothing, but that won't stop us from still hoping that God is wise, that there's a right to life, and that it's not just a wasted time. It's about hope and despair, the complexities of life, our desire for freedom from the chains that hold us back. Even if our dreams lead nowhere, we continue to hope that we break free from this bad dream. We reach the lines from old designs that grow distant out. First light, now years away. Yesterday fades, our future's coming, but we're still running. 1,000 dreams lead us to nothing, but that won't stop us from still hoping that God is wise, that there's a right to life, and that it's not just wasted time. 1,000 dreams lead us to nothing, but that won't stop us from still hoping that God is wise, that there's a right to life, and that it's not just wasted time.